Have you ever gone to camp before? The reason I bring up this question is because I've been to camp, but like a really big one. I believe the place was made for camp and camp alone, and there was lots to do. Also lots not to do. And I had an amazing time, and I thought it would be a great first story time video. So buckle up and get cozy with your popcorn and blanket. When we first got there, we had to get our temperatures checked to make sure we weren't sick or anything. It's probably nothing. Then once the checking in process was done and everyone's temperature was taken, we were shown to our quarters, or the cabin. And this looked seriously like a motel. It was big. So me and my friends, we walk into the room, we set all our stuff down and take a good long look at our amazing room. So to the left, we had a bunk bed. To the right, you wouldn't even believe what was over there. It was a bunk bed. And in front of the right bunk bed was just this little itty bitty, I wouldn't really say it was a closet. It was more like, imagine a closet without doors and just one of those little racks. And that was pretty much what was there. So I'm going to try to tell you everything we did, but they may not be in order because I don't remember it that well. But I'm going to try the best I can. So the first thing we did is we went to this really big grassy area, and we were just introducing ourselves, playing games that would help us remember other people's names and help learn other people's names. So the first day there was just us learning other people's names, pretty much. And yeah, that was the first day. Okay, day 2, me and my friends, we wake up and we have to get ready for chapel / kind of breakfast. And then after those encouraging words, we would get ready, we would play a game, and then after the game, we would head over to the lunch place. And this lunch place was like really big. Imagine like just this elementary school, but only for lunch. But this is how the lunchroom worked. So someone would go in and grab the food on the trays and bring it back to our table. And once we were done eating, someone would go back, they would get the dessert, bring it back, and then when we were done with dessert, we would have to clean off our tables. And yeah, that's pretty much how lunch worked. But at the end of the second day, we realized that at the end of each day, you would be able to go to this little shop where they had tons of merchandise and cups and stuffed animals. And it was kind of just like a party area, and it was really fun. But we had a curfew, so we couldn't stay out way too late. On day 3, me and my friends, we got introduced to the big lake. And this lake was not any ordinary lake, because this lake would have like these zip lines. It would have, I don't know if you've ever heard of an iceberg, but it had one of those. And it also had some wildlife in it, but I'll get to that later. And then there were these really big bouncy things, an obstacle course, and it was pretty much just this fun area on a hot day. So I should probably specify what an iceberg is, but imagine this really big triangle, and there's just like steps on it, but they're not steps, they're kind of like rock climbing steps, and you would try to climb all the way to the top to get on the other side where there's a slide. Fun story. There was a snake this one time at that area, and under it there'd be ropes to hold it down, and it would like hide in that area. But I'm 1,000% sure it wasn't poisonous, so no one would get injured. But it was still scary knowing there was a snake in there with you. Another fun and crazy thing we did is we were climbing up to this place. Well, not really climbing, we were walking, and we were asking like, hey, what are we doing? Where are we going? And all he said was, you'll see. Where we ended up going, we were at this really big tower thing. It's like super complicated to explain, but it was this really cool ride, you could say. So there would be 3 people in it, and it would raise you up. Actually, you know what? I could probably find a picture of it online. Here, give me a sec. All right, so there's this thing, it would lift you up and they would ask you if you want to go higher, higher, higher. And you would go up, and then when you said stop, they would release you and you would go forward, and you would go backwards and forwards until you felt sick. And then when it ended, you survived. I don't remember on which day this was on, but what happened on that day was kind of scary and funny at the same time. So we were hiking up. This was kind of near sunset time, so around 4 or 5 o'clock when it's about to get dark. But we were climbing up to this little cavern, and we would do some devotionals there. And then it dawned on me that I had a dream where we were at that like exact spot where kind of looked like it, and there was like something behind me. So at that very moment, I flashed my flashlight behind me, and there was nothing there. But what was there was a moth flying right towards our faces because I had turned on my flashlight, and it was a really big one, and we thought we had crushed it and killed it. So then I flashed my flashlight over there, and it was gone, and it was still flying around. So I just guessed that thing had a second life or something. So then we were walking down, and then I remember like me having a conversation with my friends like at that very moment. So then I was like saying to them, hey, this is kind of like deja vu. And they were like, why? What happened? And then I looked to one of my friends. I'm like, don't say something within the next 3 seconds. And we count 1, 2. And then he says, right as we reach at 3, what? So that was pretty crazy, you could say. But on the last day, there was this big camp competition, and we were all, well, not all of us were divided. Our group just got cut in half because there was so many of us. But we all had our own team colors, and we were all competing in small little games like riding a go-kart, trying to go first. And when you would win, you would get like points for your group. And when you got the most points, you just won it all. You won, I think it was like a trophy or something. But it was actually really fun, except I didn't win. But that's okay. You win some, you lose some. Well, this is the end. I hope you enjoyed the video, and tell me if I should keep doing this. And see ya.